Hi, Charles with SirBookSage here, and this is my February 2018 TBR. Now, February is going to be another theme month for me, and this theme is First Time February, where I will be reading a book by an author for the very first time. So, experiencing new authors for me, or at least new to me authors. And I've got 4 books lined up here. I'm being very conservative this month. Last month was trilogy month. I had dreams of getting through at least 2 trilogies, possibly 3, maybe 4. And I'm still finishing up a book 3 of the first trilogy. But that's just because work has gotten just crazy with my schedule, so life gets in the way of art. But let's get into February, shall we? And this is going to be a good month of reading for me. Now, first up is a book that, and all 4 of these books, by the way, are books I've discovered specifically because of BookTube. The first one here is listening to Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. This is a book she raves about, she gushes about. And Sylvia Kay, I think, just mentioned this in one of her most recent BookTube videos. And that is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I guess most people come to her from her dragon books, the Napoleonic Wars. I forget, is it His Majesty's Dragon or Her Majesty's Dragon? I forget the name of the actual first book. But again, I'm a little different, so I decided to go with this one. I know there's some sort of magical enchanted forest, and that's enough to pique my interest. If you have not read, and I haven't read them in years and years and years, the book Mythica Wood and Lavendus, if you're a fan of like sort of magical forests, go check out Mythica Wood. It's a fantasy book from maybe back in the 80s or somewhere around there. It's been quite a long time since I've read those, but really, really cool, really interesting things. And that's what intrigued me about this, listening to Sam from Thoughts on Tomes talk about how her love of the magical forest setting. So I caught this on a one-day sale on Amazon on ebook on Kindle, I think for like $2.99. So as soon as I saw it on sale, I was like, I have to grab it. And really looking forward to this one. I have high expectations and high hopes for this because Sam's not the only one I know who really, really loves this book. So we shall see. Looking forward to it. Next up is Fable Haven by Brandon Mull. And this one I am going to be reading specifically because Sylvia Kay, who I just mentioned before, she talked about this book, I think in one of her, might have been in one of her videos during Vlogmas, where she was talking about books she really, really loves. And in one of those videos somewhere, she mentioned this book. And I decided, all right, you know what, I'm going to get that. When I see someone really, really enjoy a story, and it intrigues me enough to want to go check it out, particularly a booktuber that I highly respect and whose channel I enjoy a lot, like Sylvia's. And so I decided I'm going to do this. And I believe Bookish Porcupine and I are going to do this as a buddy read. I believe it's a middle grade fantasy story. I just think it's the first in of a series. And really cool looking cover. But don't really know anything about it other than Sylvia Kay highly recommended it. Next up is another book I'm really excited for. And Jerry from Onyx Pages recently did a author spotlight on this next author and actually interviewed the author in that video on her channel. I will link that video down below. And Jerry's got a great, great BookTube channel. Definitely go check her out. She's got probably one of the most unique book rating systems I've ever seen. Really cool, very, very thoughtful. And that book is Skinfolk by Nalo Hopkinson. And I really enjoyed her interview with Nalo Hopkinson. She's a writer I've heard about, but again, I've never read. And you can't help but watch, when you watch in Jerry's Onyx Pages BookTube channel, you can't help but just want to go out and buy every book she talks about because She really is very, very passionate and she puts a lot of thought into reading and puts a lot of thought into how she speaks about books that she enjoys. And I believe this was Nalo Hopkinson's, one of her recommendations. Like, if you've never read any of her books, she recommended this as a good place to start. I believe it's a collection of short stories. So I took the author's advice and purchased this on Amazon on Kindle. And I'm really looking forward to this. I'm usually reading big, giant, door-stopping epic fantasy multi-book series. But I don't read a lot of short stories, but I really, really do love short stories, even though I don't read them as much. So this will be a nice change of pace, and it will give me a great, I think, example of her storytelling and different writing styles. And really looking forward to it. And then the fourth book is what looks like it'll be my second buddy read this month. And this is actually another collection of short stories. One of the first books I knew I was going to buy when I discovered BookTube. But I didn't buy it at the time because it wasn't published yet. And I actually created a book depository account for myself just so I could buy this book. And really looking forward to this one. And that is The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night. And if you follow me on Instagram, if you happen to catch my one and only Instagram story I've done so far, it was me getting this package, coming at work and opening it up, and like just a picture of the package and then picture of what was in it. And again, this one I've been dying to get, and I'm really glad to finally have this in my possession. And it's the actual physical book. It's back here on the shelf, but I figured I'd just try the book cover here since I'm testing out this sort of new format here, just playing around. I might use this for TBRs each month going forward. We'll see. I'll be asking about you guys what you think of this kind of layout. On a technical side, I'm playing around with OBS Studio. I record all my videos on my desktop in OBS Studio, and I'm just playing around with some of the different scene settings to be able to switch the screen back and forth. Just total aside, just tech stuff. But this is another collection of short stories. I saw Jen Campbell on her BookTube channel, her AuthorTube channel. She read I think the first paragraph or the first page of this, the first short story. And I was instantly hooked. I knew right away, okay, I have to get this. So, super excited for it. And that's my TBR. I am being cautious. It's already February 6th as I'm filming this, so by the time this goes up on my channel, it'll be the 7th. I'll have already lost the first week in the shortest month of the year. So, yeah, I've got my work cut out for me. I will have my, I suppose, a quick little January wrap-up video this coming weekend at some point. And all I know is this is the second month in a row I'm doing a theme month. I kind of have an idea for theme months for the whole year. I'll see how they go. I'll see how they play out. And I also, again, technical side note, what do you think of this? I kind of like this. It lets me kind of switch back and forth between different layouts. Shout out to Nick Nimmin and his YouTube channel. If you want to know all the ins and outs of YouTube content creation and all sorts of technical things like this, Nick Nimmin's got such a great channel. But that is my February TBR. First time February. Authors new to me, whichever one works for you. And I need to get reading because I'm already down a week. And yeah, I'm going to sign off here. I am Charles with SirBookSage. Happy reading.